Welcome back, Satisfactory. So we're over here. We just put in all of our crude oils. We've collected all that. All of these are probably full of oil. That's not really the point though. We want to have that oil ready to go. So I think we'll make a nice refinery. We need a refinery blueprint. And I think I'll just do that over here, kind of in the main area. I could put a blueprint over there, but why? I thought I had two. I guess I got rid of one of these. That's not as good as I had planned. I think with that, I need some computers that I might not have. Oof. We are totally out of computers. All because we're sitting on high speeds. I'll pick some of this up. 400 plastic is probably enough to get us going. Okay, well, I guess I'll just save this. We're a little ways away from actually working this. Did I put a blank curve in here somewhere? If I did, it would be like Neon Factory base. What is this? Yeah. I'm looking for a little curve. Oh well, I guess I'm just gonna have to assume that I didn't. I probably kept it as part of something, trying to build nicely and keep everything clean. Go in, get our road barrier, put the road barrier in the middle, flick it one way in that direction. Connect this. Make sure that that's a perfect corner. That's our basic circle. 2x1 circle starter. It's like a yeast. And we'll put this in because we want this right on the edge, right? So how we build this last part is gonna matter a little bit, but honestly, that's kind of okay. I'm okay with that. Now the refinery, because we got to use refineries. Let's see how well they fit. How tall can we go? Ooh, what's that? Maybe 8 meters? So we can go... Oh, look at that. 8 meters exactly. Maybe 9. We need some room for some infrastructure. Oh, how annoying is that? How absolutely annoying is that? It's gonna count that as outside the blueprint. Two by one circle starter. We're gonna save this as 2 by 1 circle starter. Save, confirm, clear, close. Oops, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Hold on. I don't know what happened there. Circle starter, let's get it back off the edge so we can finish the build. I guess technically it doesn't have to be right on the edge. I just feel better when things are on the edge for some reason. And we'll put this right here. Then we'll say that this is the top level. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. You know, it probably doesn't have to be on the edge. It would be a little better if it were, but let's give ourselves some breathing room, see what happens. Can a refinery fit? Not comfortably. What? How many times did I save that? Oh, I saved it as that. Alright, fine. Blueprint. New blueprint too. Okay. Now we're going to give ourselves kind of half a foundation of space. Let's see if that'll work. The real problem is all this wall needs to go, and it might not like being extended again. Yeah, see, now we're getting into unfortunate little annoyances. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to get this in here. I do think sending it out to the center makes the most sense. I might be trying to do this too tight. Maybe I need more space in general. But if that'll go, I'll take it. I think this is going to be an absolute pain to try to build with. Great, new blueprint 3. I keep making that mistake. I need a flat place to test this. I mean, the other option is just to assume that it's going to be an annoyance and then just accept that annoyance. Now, where is the snap point for this next one? Ew, does such a thing even exist? Or I have to get it close and then just sort of do some nudgery. Uh-oh. What are you colliding with? Ew. See, this is why I'm glad I'm testing this, because I never would have guessed that object encroachment would have been my problem. It actually looks like it's gonna build out okay. We just gotta get this encroachment problem resolved, and I don't know if it can be resolved. Because really, there's not much space on here to do anything. If I move these guys back, maybe we could pull it off. Problem is we absolutely have to get some amount of floor piping in place. I think I'm just going to go straight crude. Probably throw away the polymer resin. The right way to do it, quote unquote, right way, would be to do something with heavy oil residue. But if we do that, man, we've got so many additional steps we have to deal with. I think we're just going to stick with the polymer, throw away the polymer, use the 40 fuel, call it a day. I want this size because it is the best size. If I have to, I could extend this by half a foundation. I probably will have to do that. But we're going to try it without it first. But first, I got to make sure that we can actually fit. Man, I'd love to connect both of these on a single import pipe, but even that might be tough. I can't connect a junction directly to... Oh, this is actually interesting. I can connect it to a wall. I might not like this. Yeah, it feels a little too exposed. Actually, hold on. Is there any nudging that I can do to get this closer? Like half a click? No. Instant encroachment no matter what. Oh, wait. Oh no, that's just it. What if I pull this back one and then moved it over half? No, there's just too many things going on. That's got to be the placement of that. You know, I'd take this. It's such a shame you have to use junctions on these. I'm 99% sure that this is still a bust when I go to build this. I don't know, for a second there I just could not find the icon button. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to give myself half a foundation of space. Which is going to make the circle significantly bigger. But might be what we have to do. Uh-oh. We finally got rid of all of our copper sheets. Luckily, I know where there's a good amount of copper sheet. Ugh, this would otherwise be perfect. It's just that this one is encroaching on that one ever so slightly. If I move this one to the right, it'll encroach on the left. If I move this one to the left, it'll encroach on the right. Right? I can't move this one. I can't move this one. It's just too tight. What an absolute shame. What's the conflict point? If this one could move back a bit. But we're already on the edge of this. So that's really not an option either. The easier option would be to just put some more space on this. I wonder... No, because if I move it to the left and give it angle, I think it's just as bad, if not worse. The problem really is the fact that this is hanging over this edge ever so slightly. Okay, I think this is in the full vertical space. Not hanging over anymore. But now we can't get this guy in here at all. Oh, wait. Oh, what a hair. Oh, that's even worse. Ideally, it would be on the turn. I mean, that's on the edge just a little bit. You know, it's worth a try. It's gonna look a little odd, but it's worth a try. Now that this first one is fully in its own vertical space, it should fit. Are you kidding me? You're claiming encroachment on that? Look at that. The hitbox for this encroachment is bigger than it looks. All right, we're gonna have to go with a bigger circle. We're talking half a foundation, less than half a foundation bigger is going to be required. It's probably simpler to put it in on the straight side. I mean, if I can get away with that, it would barely make the circle bigger. It's gonna make the circle bigger, but it would make it not very much bigger. You know what I mean? That's still pretty tight compared to the alternatives of like a full half foundation or something totally wacky. And we'll put these walls in. These are going to get ugly fast. But if we only care about the outside and not so much the inside, I think it's fine. That little extra space should be enough to eliminate the encroachment problem. Am I making a dismantle crate? I feel insecure about the fact that I've got a full inventory here. My tractors are out of fuel. They were just putting in additional ore into the main monolith here. We'll fix that in an episode or two. If you're one of those people that don't like those blinking lights, just know that I see them and they will be addressed. Oh, you're killing me. Obviously, looks like one more. Looks like that much is how much I need to add. It is highlighting this refinery as the collision, so I'm being told what the problem is. Oh, I did make a dismantle crate. I mean, to do this mostly right, we should probably just delete this. Tink it out one. Didn't I put in an extra piece of wall here? I'm trying to limit the number of objects. Definitely made the right choice by extending this on the flat side. I am happy with that choice. If nothing else, we did that right. Gotta be sure to save it. What a tragedy would it be if I made the adjustment, didn't save it, went to test it, found out it wasn't close enough, and then extended it again unnecessarily because I didn't have to actually have the item that I thought I had in place. Just would have been sad. But I think we got it now. Once it gets on the right level, that's what matters. It's going to be an inner circle, outer circle type situation, which is fine. We'll bring it back to a consistent location. Building, some logistics, pipe floor hole. Apparently I used the wrong connection type. Power connections in the front here, but we're gonna want see, I kind of want to put the power in an easy place, but it has to be in a place where it can also connect, but it also needs to be in a place where it won't overlap. We got a lot of stuff going on here. See, well, see, the problem is we got to connect too many things. The liquids are the most annoying, so we're going to placate to the liquids, I think. Duh. See, that's not great. We can't have that kind of visible clipping. Clipping is fine as long as you can't see it as part of the final build. I theoretically could put conveyor belt on the edge here. It makes a little bit of a turn. Though, I probably don't like that. I probably want that right on the flat. Of course, then we have to count on this to make the next turn. Of course, none of that matters if we can't get it connected. And now we're outside the merger, or outside the blueprint. I mean, it might be worth it. It might be worth it to connect all of this some other way. Oh boy. We got the spacing, but can we actually connect it all is the question. I guess I'll have to connect it all in this space. That might even be more difficult. Merger. I guess if we just did 2 mergers, we could get away with this. Yeah, whether or not we can get the pipe in there is a different question. The stackable is the way to start it. We could say it's connected to the belt. Actually, if I can get this on this first level, I should probably do it, just so we don't run into any pump issues. Oh my god, that'd be a nightmare if there's a pump issue on this. I need a junction. I don't think I'm gonna make this turn. I am more likely to make it this way than this way. We'll try it though. I mean, you get sick of being right all the time. So that's for the fuel, and the belt is for the polymer. And once we get all of that kind of flowing, we'll just have to decide how we're going to pull it off, because we're going to have to pull it off the belt, and we're going to have to pull it off the pipe a lot faster, because we're not going to have room. We're at 2,500 crude, so that's technically what, 4? No, it's 5 full pipes. We're not going to do 5 full pipes. We're going to have to do partials. And then coming out of that, at least it's less, but we're going to have to pull stuff out of this as part of it, but we'll have to deal with that once we get it built. Luckily, there's really nothing happening under here. Let's see if we can squeeze in power. This is the only downside of this build, is we're going to put power under. It'll clip through that pipe no matter what we do.
I don't know. Have a good day.
I guess I could go under on this one. And now that we've got that in place, we can get in here. So each time, let's think for a second. So we've got 3 sources of crude oil. That's going to get us that 250, 2,500. Only 2 will fit. $120 per section. If the crude oil is going, just for instance, if it goes in this way, we split it on 1 pipe. The problem is, well, there's a couple problems actually. One, I want to use the oil from both pipes. That's probably, I'm not going to say a pipe dream. I'm not going to say it. Just because if I do set this up, I have to have a pump in here somewhere. So, I mean, that gives you one pipe connected. But after this main pipe sends crude up, this passive pipe should probably try to refill the lower level. Let's see if I can talk my way into this. And then I could theoretically put a very small pump here. Now I got to get power below. Don't think I want anything on the absolute edge of the blueprint. You know, that little cable is bothering me, but I'm not going to let it bother me enough to hold me up here. We're going to keep moving. I think right here we need a valve that goes exclusively that way. Alright, so there's really no reason to keep all this stuff this tight. Let's move it out a little bit. We're just going to say we want to make sure that we don't back up anything. We want to make sure that we're always going in the same direction post connections. And then we can do a junction. I'm tempted to put a pump here, but I don't need to. I mean, 2 of these pipes is 1,200, which is basically half of the total. I could put in a secondary backup passive pipe, like a supply pipe out here. And then maybe just connect one of these. And then connect this across to the other side. And then we'll ensure that this also only goes one way. So now we have 1,800 per section available to us. And I was just saying, hey, it's 2,500 total crude, but this will consume 120 unoverclocked. So every section is actually 120 plus. I mean, you could kind of say it's closer to 1,800 plus 120. Is that a real calculation? Since we're pulling 120 out with each section. I think the key here is where we put the oil in. Right? And the only annoying part of that is that the oil is going to have to come in on this inside track. That's going to be a little annoying. Not a lot, just a little. I suppose I can't, excuse me, I suppose I can't leave it without some sort of decorative something or other, right? Ooh, but this has that spacing issue. I guess I should go ahead and get these colors right. We'll use Fix It Orange since it's making fuel. Backgrounds. No text. Bright and glossy. Is there a good place for this? Oh, what a terrible time for it to crash. That makes me very sad. I don't think I saved that blueprint at all. We'll see where we are when we get back. Hold on. Okay, looks like all we lost was the billboardification. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the small billboards. Whenever I crash, I always think, well, what was the last thing was it really the thing I want to be doing? Yes is the answer in this case. I was going to put a vertical piece in, but I honestly don't think I need that. The gap really shows up though. That's the only problem. Of course, if I put a vertical light in here, it's just going to enhance the fact that there's a gap. Yeah, that's not doing anything for us. On this side, since it's the inside track, should be fine. Of course, it's going to have that little... Well, we could probably cover that. If we cover both sides of the problem. All right, hold on. We might be able to do this with one billboard instead of two. We'll go here, we'll lock it in, then nudge it to the right one. Perfect. Every now and again. If I try to go with the absolute minimum number of overlapping pixels here, yeah, I don't think that's better. I think it's actually worse. Oh. The wall doesn't have an asphalt version. I'd love to darken this, but if I do, it's gonna cause all kinds of clipping issues that I just don't want to deal with. Z fighting. I think that's about right. We're refining, we have power, we've got a pump for... Hopefully it won't show up. Yeah, let me rotate this a little bit just to guarantee this crazy pipe doesn't show up, poking its way through. The under power is powered by the overpower. The pipe passes along extra oil. So it effectively gives us 1,800 oil before we have to reconnect more oil. It's a little less than that, or a little more than that, because every of these machines, every one of these builds takes 120 off the line, so we could squeeze in a little extra. We'll connect the oil from this side. Ooh. That could be a problem. We could also do it from the underside. That's the other option. Logistics. Yeah, that'll be fine. But we don't need that as part of the blueprint. Let's save this. I want to put some more lighting in here, but I don't know that I need to. I think we're done. I think that's the blueprint we'll use in the next episode. We'll probably need like 16 of them. I don't know exactly how many we're gonna need. Blueprints. Are we making crystal oscillators? No, we're making frames. That's going to be a lot. The one thing we do have, though, is the crystal oscillators. Motors are going to be the potential deal breaker. Is this because the motor stack is tiny? Nope. We have 0 in the uploader, which means none are being uploaded. Which means none are being made. Okay. Actually, let's check in on that, and then we'll call it. Plastic is fine. Copper sheet's fine. Concrete, fine. All the other stuff is fine. Only thing that's bothersome is the motors. Just holding completely ate all my momentum. Alright, where are our motors? It's all about the stators and rotors. Ooh, there's 150 waiting for us. Inventory is so bad we can't even... Short on stators. Are you actually telling me you're short on copper wire? What? I'm excited because that's an easy fix. Oh, so we've got all the rotors we could possibly need. We'll grab a couple buckets of wire and call it. Just to make sure that even if it's not ready when we start the build, that we have the motors by the time we're ready to use the motors, kind of thing. That guy's gonna burn them down pretty quick. And then I think the last thing we'll do, if we have what it takes, we need some beautiful production. Ten SAM fluctuators. All right, so we've got 150 on us. The stack size of this thing is only 100, or is only 50. If it gets to another 50, I might pull those. Yeah. And then here, 12 and a half per minute. 12 and a half per minute. Yeah. So we'll make the rest. Even though the stators are going to be our bottleneck. Okay. You know, I probably could put this compacted coal, surely. Nope. No room for compacted coal. Empty canisters could definitely go. And all these
I don't know. Have a good day.
bio parts could go. I'm basically prepping for the next video at this point. And yes, I realize we haven't stopped the video. I figured, hey, if you're really staying this long, you might want to know what's going on after the fact. Like, we're kind of here. We've got some frames. We'll just drop a few off, make a few heavies. But I think we're good to call it. I wanted to make sure that we had all the motors that we need. And I feel confident that we have them, or we will have them in time. Now we don't have enough concrete. Of course, we have a beautiful concrete factory over here that we can stop by and pick up. $3,500, half of the... So we've got plastic on site. Yeah, we'll just have to make a trip. We'll have to make a trip out. Though I'm tempted to grab this, even though it is going to fill my inventory. Just so we can start making some more. All right, let's call it. Actually, before we call it, let's take a quick peek at our power levels. Oh yeah, we're doing fine. It actually might make sense to... It actually might make sense to put a little bit more power storage. Can I still see our power tower? Oh yeah, we never finished that. Ooh. Yeah, let's start. We need to start making fuel before we worry about that. And we'll do that in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.